Alrighty, I'm going to explain the simple and basic setup procedures for Jungledisk Workgroup with my settings for those that are not familiar with how to do this. It's pretty simple once you've started, but I'm just going to go through the basics here. Once the program has been installed, which most people know how to install software, so I won't go through that step, but once it's installed, this is the first screen we're going to come to, and it gives the 4 basic steps on what to do. Basically, just hit the next button. Okay, here it give you the username, password, and domain. The domain is I love comics with an X. The username, let's use the I love comics, and the password I love comics. Same as if you were logging in on the online web interface, only this is going to add another drive to your computer. Same parameters, same setup, same everything. If you weren't able to edit them online, you won't be able to edit them on your computer as well. You'll be able to view them, you just won't be able to edit them. Hit the next button. It's checking for account information, and then it gives you the I Love Comics, the OTR, and the upload. Let's do upload first because upload is the editable directory. So click the next. Don't select the first one because that's just for a backup for your computer, which you can back up online. Let's configure it to be a work group as a network drive. So pick a drive on your computer that you're not using. It gives you most of the letters that aren't being used at the time. If you are using a bunch of them, it'll probably just give you the latter part of the alphabet. Since this is the upload directory, I kind of one of those have to stick with the letter that the folder's labeled, so I'll pick U. Hit the next button and then hit finish. It will configure Jungledisk workgroup. It may take a moment. Then it's basically installed on your computer. Go to your control panel on your computer. If it's not open, you don't really have to do anything. I'm going to just hit F5 just for the sake of it. Then you see upload. I've installed this on my computer a couple of times, so I don't think it's going to take a while to update, but it's going to initially take a few minutes to update on your computer because it has to read the files. So first time that you do it on your end, it will take a moment, but mine's already been installed a couple of times, so it takes no time at all because it caches all the files that you're using. So, just another side note, if you're using a small hard drive on a laptop or something, or don't have a big hard drive on your computer, cached files can become a nuisance because it caches those for, if you decide to go to another folder again, it'll pull those out of the cache instead of having to download them every time. You can turn that off, but I don't remember how to do that at the moment. So basically, we're in the upload folder right now, and if I just hit new, actually, let's not do that. If I go to Stan Jones Files, click on it, it's going to bring up all the files in here. It's going to probably freeze for a moment because I have not been to this folder. Yeah, and it's going to say it's starting to download the read file or caching the files into on the computer so it can access them. So if there's a lot of files on this, make sure you have a lot of hard drive space because you're not going to be able to do anything until it downloads a couple of files, just so it gives you something to use. So I'm kind of stuck at the moment until that file downloads, so that kind of stinks. Once these are downloaded, these files are completely downloaded, accessing the directory will not be a problem at all. It won't freeze, it won't do anything. It's just the initial first time is kind of nerve-wracking because you gotta wait for a couple files to be downloaded, and it doesn't download that fast, but it's not really that slow either. I mean, I'm downloading a 12 megabyte file on a laptop wirelessly at the moment, and took less than 2 minutes to download this file. So since I'm here, this is the monitor window. You can't really do anything here. It just monitors what you're doing with your drives once you created them, and we're just reading the one that was been created. Let's go to configure. See, we have the I Love Comics and the OTR file still here too as well. Let's do the I Love Comics one. Click Connect Online Disk once you've selected the I Love Comics. Give it a moment to grab the information. Now it brought it up. Now you have added the I Love Comics to your work group, but you need to assign a network drive to it. Let's do I Love Comics, hit OK. Now it has added the I Love Comics and the upload to the monitor window, and they considers them separate drives. Even though it's the same account, it considers them separate drives. Okay, now that it's downloaded that file, see, I can get details on everything in here. I can view, when they were modified. I can select what I want. Now, if you've never downloaded it before, the moment you select it, it's going to start downloading it to your cached file so you can access the file. So it's going to take quite a while to get these large files that are in here, but it only downloads 1 or 2 files initially so it can read the drive and have something already cached. Okay, I've added the I Love Comics now. It's going to take it a moment to note that I've added it. Yeah, see, it's downloading another one, so I gotta wait less than a minute here. Don't want this video to be too long. I wanted it to be simple, but also, once it's downloaded the file and gives you access back to your Windows directories, if you click off that file or directory, it won't download any more out of that directory. So if you just are browsing and you've never been to a file and it's got 200 files in it that are large, it's going to download the first one before it gives you back access back to your computer. That's the only downfall I've seen with this program, but it works wonders, and I really like it, and think whoever's watching this video would enjoy it too. Now we have the I Love Comics directory, which has the comics archives, just basically anything comics related that has been saved. If I double click here, it'll bring up all the folders and stuff like that that you can see. The only aspect to this directory is it is viewable. We can view all the files here. We can access anything. It's a readable directory. It's a readable drive. So if I go to, and this is just for demonstration purposes, go to new folder. Oh, it doesn't like that because my parameters have been set that it's just readable only at this time. So it's unable to correct or create the new folder, and the device attached to the system is not functioning. It's the parameter settings that I set up, just like the web interface, to view only. So other than that, once you've installed the Jungledisk work group, I think I've gone through the proper setup and how to properly set up accessing the 2 drives or 3 drives if you want to do the OTR as well. That's also a read-only directory. If you do want access to the I Love Comics folder, please let me know. I'd be very cautious at letting that out because it is a very large directory, but if anybody's willing to help me organize the comics and add their personal stuff to it, please create a folder in the upload folder and upload your items, and it's really a pretty neat software program that I think will make wonders for this hobby. If you have any questions, just email me. My email address is ilovecomics, the @ sign, and it's LILREADER.com. My name is Steve, and I hope you enjoyed this video.